What's going on, Flipping Cricket fans? It's Sam once again. We out here on the water gonna show you the top 3 ways on how to work a popper. While we out here, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share. The channel's been doing very good, but we've noticed a lot of the people that are watching the channel actually aren't subscribers. So be sure to hit the like button when you like the video and hit the subscribe button to get the new videos that come out, so that you will always get these new videos that we drop hot and fresh off the press. Now back to the video. A popper. To me, a popper is actually one of my top 2 favorite topwater baits. I like a popper. I actually fish a popper and a buzz bait. A buzz bait I like because I can cover water, go down the bank quickly, cover a lot of water. But a popper is more precise. I can fish more spots in smaller areas and give it a little bit more concentration. And also, I can throw it out over long points and catch a few. But today, I'm gonna show y'all the top 3 ways I like to use my popper. The first one is I like to walk it. The second one is I like for it to spit. And the third one is I like for it to chug. So stick around, we're gonna have some good stuff for you. All right, y'all. The first technique I wanna show y'all is very similar to the larger baits that you find on lakes that are utilized on places like Lake Murray, where the fish spawn, the herring spawn, and the shad spawn are pretty prominent on those lakes. But the walking technique with the popper is very, very similar, but a little different in how you work it. Hopefully the wind is not too bad and you'll be able to see the popper work and hear me talk while I'm working. So I like to throw my popper setup on a 7-foot medium action rod, 30-pound test braid, high speed, 7.5 to 1 gear ratio. And I throw about a 3-foot leader of monofilament, and I have a snap swivel to the popper. And I like to leave enough slack in the line so that it gives it the walking motion like the usual walking bait. But with the popper, you have to practice it because it's a smaller bait. So it's a quicker snap, where the other baits were pop, 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 walk the dog. You can do it slower, but with the popper bite being so small, you just little quick snaps, and that little feather on the back will get it. Now, being up close and not being close to the water makes it harder to walk this thing. So hopefully you can see this good, but we're gonna try. So the popper, you just walk it. And this is a killer technique when the shad spawn is on, when they're schooling, all of those. Now, that's considered the walking technique. Walking technique, I've actually taken this thing and thrown it out over long tapering points, drawed up schooling fish in clear water. With that, this is considered a finesse technique. This is considered a finesse technique because normally you would throw a larger walking bait in this situation. But when it gets tough and it's hard to get bites on anything else, because I've been out on schooling fish and thrown flukes and everything but the kitchen sink, and I have happened to pick up a popper and actually gotten bit. I think it's because it really matches the size of the herring, I mean not the herring, but the shad in the lakes around North Carolina. And so I'll take this thing and just pop it in the walking style. And man, I'm talking about like Lake Tillery, this is a killer. I've caught them in Jordan, I've caught them on Lake Waccamaw, I've caught them on Sutton Lake with this thing, 3-4 pounders. Just walking a popper, and I tell you, it has been and easily become a staple in my arsenal. Number 2, the spitting technique. So you take it and you throw it out with the spitting, when you do the spitting technique and the chug technique, when you throw it out and let it hit the water, you want the rings to get about 3 feet away from the boat, or from the popper, and let the rings kind of get, you know, a good ways away, let it settle. And I actually have a video out where I was fishing a popper in a pond and let it sit for 3 seconds or so, and before I could even start working it, they pop it, because, you know, it looks realistic to them. A feather on the back will flare in the water. But this is the spitting technique. So the spitting technique is definitely different. With the spitting technique, as a popper normally sits, it sits kind of canted upward. But to make it spit almost every time, you want to give it a tighter line and get the popper nose down, such as so, and pop and snap it like that. Make it spit. Couldn't really get it. This wind and the waves is getting there. Let's see if we can get a better view here. Like that. Get it going. Get it going. And just a quick snap. Get it going. Move it a couple inches. And just spit that water. And now, for me, I've seen this technique work particularly the best during the shad spawn. During the shad spawn, fish are flickering all over the top, coming to the top, you know, just it, and kind of scare you when you're out on the boat, because they just come up anywhere and just flicker, make you want to cast everywhere. But this will mimic a fleeing shad that is by itself and just flickering. So you get it coming and you just twitch, and it'll throw the water out there, and that spray gets big bass attention. See if we can do it one more time for the camera. Get it one more time for the flipping cricket fans. Get it coming. And make it spit. That spitting technique get some big bites, especially during the shad spawn. I don't really use it much else now, because it really, you know, it don't get quite as much. But during the shad spawn, it really gets some good ferocious strikes. Especially, you know, when the fish are not really schooling, but they are chasing those individual shad that are fleeing away. All right. If you stuck around so far, you like the video, be sure to give us a thumbs up. Be sure to hit the subscribe button at the end of the video. Click on it, like, subscribe, comment. Share it with your buddies. Maybe y'all can get out there and put these techniques to play. And if you use these techniques that we're giving to you all, or anything that you see, leave a comment below and let us know that you're using them. It just make us happier to know that what we're doing is helping others. So now the last, but definitely not least, is the chugging. This is probably the most common technique that people know about a popper. And this is where you hear the pop, pop, pause, pop, pause, pop, 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 pause. Okay, so now on a lake, I hardly ever use this. That method hardly ever, because most lakes have shad in it, and if the fish are chasing shad, the walking technique or something like that will work. But there's one particular time in a lake that I do use this. So this particular time is when I'm fishing cover. It's kind of shallow. Fish are biting top water pretty good. The water temperature's right. I can take this popper and get around lay downs. I can get around, you know, the edges of grass and just pop, pop, pause. And that, when it's close to cover, draws those fish to you somehow. And they really unleash the dragon on you. But it's pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. And you do that and vary it between your times and your cadences. A good rule of thumb, I like to do the 1, 2, 3. I taught my godson how to fish this stuff. He is now he's 10, but he was fishing these lures at what, age of 7 or 8. So he, you know, and I use the 1, 2, 3 method. It's 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and let it be. and I let it sit for 3 seconds. Then I start on 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Let it sit for 3 seconds. And it works. 1, 2, 3. You hear it? And this way you get the most sound out of your popper. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The popper. The most versatile topwater bait out there. All right, flipping cricket fans, be sure not to leave your poppers at home, because they catch fish, they get bites, they get the meat. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate you. Always remember, as long as you flip your cricket, you're bound to get a bite.